is my friend Dave. Say hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Thanks again for letting me crash here.
You bet.
On my way back to Montana for the holidays.
Hold on.
Yep.
The noise gate threshold's too high, so I had to turn it down. They were catching little snippets of it.
Thanks for letting me crash here.
You bet.
On my way back to Montana for the holiday.
So, tell us what Project 1000 is, and then we can start going on the road trip.
Yeah, Project 1000 is, and Zach's got a good point. It's really kind of here. It's a movement, a community, a resource, and an outreach program centered around the notion that a picture is worth 1,000 words. We encourage and provide for the telling and sharing of the stories behind pictures 1,000 words at a time. So literally, it's just kind of this simple notion, blown it up, created a multi-user page. It's kind of a photojournalistic Facebook without bullshit, and it's just kind of pure art. And it asks, it's almost an anti-Instagram, I think we're drowning in images. There's a couple videos on there where I that's one of the lines. I think there's too many images and not much thought. Sure. We go to concerts and take videos and don't really experience it. I went to Meow Wolf yesterday, and I found myself, I'm just kind of still programmed as a photographer, but taking pictures almost too much.
Sure.
Instead of really kind of letting it sink in. And I spent 2 hours, and I was maxed out, and it was heavy shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of fucking input at Meow Wolf for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things that I always try to tell myself. It's like, okay, you allow yourself to take some pictures. You want to take a couple of pictures if you're at a concert or something like that, but put the phone away. Be here now. Be here now is like the thing I repeat to myself, or try to remember, is that you're at the concert. Go ahead, snap a picture, but don't keep doing it. Don't keep bringing it out. Don't look at your phone. Just be here.
Yeah. Be where you're at, right?
Yeah. So that's what Project 1000 is. It's the premise is one picture, 1,000 words. And I
gotta tell you, the first guy who tested it was a really smart friend of mine in Seattle, PhD level cat, and I told him about the whole thing and thought I was pretty explicit about it, and he sent me a submission. He was the first one to test it, and it had 864 words, and I said, hey dude, it's not Project 1864. No one fucking says a picture is worth 864 words. He goes, oh, it's 1,000 exactly. I go, that's the whole fucking thing, man.
Wait, it has to be 1,000?
I was like, yeah,
dude.
Yeah, there's a word counter.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So before we go, how do you? If I wanted submissions, let's go to the submissions part.
Well, you're probably gonna
should be right there, right?
You're probably gonna wanna. Well,
can you not?
You got to sign up first, but this is the result of all the submissions, right?
Okay.
So my buddy, my Russian friend, is gonna do this automatically instead of me having to point out where all the submission pictures are from. Mm-hmm. But this is a result of all the submissions. So these are all the current submissions. My friend in Helena, Montana, was a middle school teacher. She brought 75 of her middle school students on there and got about 15 of them to write submissions. These are currently in order. There's ways to filter it. You can sort it, I should say, sort and filter. Mm-hmm. But these are the results. But you'd have to sign up here. You got to sign up for the website, and then sign up as a contributor, and then you'll be able to go through the process of creating a submission. And
are you the one like that says like this goes on the website?
So far, I have been the one, but this Russian dude, I mean, robot level is coming up. He's gonna do away with moderation for me, thank God, and it allows it somehow. It's kind of freaky, but it allows people who have people will gain reputation points by how they get to the website if it's just a random person, and it kind of gives the masses the power to moderate the content themselves. So I think it's going to bypass that. And his goal is to
welcome to 1000 all dick pics.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little worried on how that works. but we'll see. He ensures me that it's
They'll be
that
asking.
it's safe.
They'll be asking you like, is it only 1,000?
Yeah.
Can I do 10,000?
Yeah.
I got a lot to say about my dick.
Yeah, I mean, just blood fart. This is 1,000 times.
Okay, so it is open. Eventually, will be open for people to submit if they want to submit one
It's
picture
open.
and 1,000
It's
words.
open right now.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, you can do that right now. But the moderation currently is me looking at it and making sure it's not a dick pic and making sure that. But he says there's a way around that. There's ways around that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do the road trip. Let's start. Let's start on the road trip.
All right. So this is how it should link. This is technically davidoverturf.com, but for whatever reason, it's not honoring the forwarding of that domain address. So these are just kind of visual aids to be able to talk about this. Yeah, like I said, book's coming out. I left December 15th, 2016, and crossed into Mexico. Crossed my first border January 5, 2017, and then just kept going. I was paused in Fallbrook, staying at a friend's house north of San Diego, and there was a gas shortage in Mexico. The largest petroleum company is owned by the government.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, when the government decides to raise prices 20%, people get really pissed.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
So I had to, it was some weird days thinking, is my road trip done? and I haven't crossed the border, but I was able to bail down the western coast of Baja California and stayed in Ensenada for a couple days as I paused even longer for some dude.
Now, pronouncing Spanish words is fine, but I draw the line at saying California like a dickhead, like you just did.
But it's part of the Baja California. It's part of a state name of a proper Mexican state name. If I just said,
all right, you get a pass.
If I just said San Diego, California, then I would
okay,
say take it easy. But if it's Baja California, and then there's Baja California Sur, there's two states there, northern part, southern part.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I'll forgive you this time.
So pretty much drove. And the only driving I didn't do is I took a ferry from La Paz, Baja California Sur, to the mainland Mexico. From Baja California, the van was named the Bestia Verde, the Green Beast.
Yep.
And we put her on a ferry there, from La Paz to Mazatlan, and then other than that, I had to put it on a container from Panama to Colombia, from Panama to Cartagena, Colombia. And that was it. Otherwise, I drove, ended up being 25,000 miles and camped, slept in the van or tent most of the time, and, supplemented it with a shower every couple of days, and hotels or pretty shabby hotels or Airbnbs or, it was epic, man. So here's these 6 month these videos are pretty cool. I don't know if you can share those, but
yeah, I mean, you can just press play if you want.
Well, yeah. So I did one at 6 months, one at 12 months, and then a gnarly one. So fuzzy, isn't it? Is that fuzzy?
Is it? Is there a quality? Okay.
But this is a voice of a prophet / asshole / weirdo that I met from. He was from Quebec. Is he gonna share the audio?
Yeah, it's sharing it.
Yeah. Anyway, he was a weirdo I met in Belize.
You'll find that out as you travel.
Oh yeah.
You're always on the road. You're going down, and you're wondering, does the road ever stop? Of course not. It keeps going round and round and round all the, because then it leads to a harbor, and then you put the car on the ship.
What is he talking about even?
He was just a weird. He this was his thing. He'd buy a car in southern U.S., travel down there, and then like the combat depression. He was a really interesting guy, but he was the kind of guy who was kind of real loud, especially in public. I write about him,
Were you hitchhiking with him or something?
No, he was just driving me. We took a little tour to the border with Guatemala, and it seemed like a great way to start. My first video. And then
I had to mute it because it's copyright music.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, they can go to the website if they want to hear the music, but
I gotta.
We're talking over top of it anyway, so.
Yeah. Anyway, can I say it? I can say, yeah, this is When the Levee Breaks.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin is playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's too bad because I got the frames down with the beats and.
Hey.
No.
I feel you, man. Trust me.
Well,
when the hammer came down for the DMCA shit, like we used to have no problem playing whatever we wanted music as long as we didn't monetize the videos or whatever. And now like it's dicey, like playing with copyrighted music.
I get it. I'm an artist. We need to be paid. I understand it.
I get it too, man. Totally get it.
So, but yeah, there's 4 of these videos with different totally copyrighted music that you can enjoy in the comfort of your own homes. And I'll probably get a fucking email or something here when yeah. Hey, there's the ferry to the mainland Mexico. So yeah. It was epic, that I think that word is overused and
So what is this again? This is the first 6 months or something?
This is the first 6 months. So this is pretty much it
starts. So, yeah, tell us what we're seeing, dude. Like, where are we?
Oh, let me see. 6 months. We're on mainland. You're somewhere going probably towards. This is probably Puerto Vallarta. I'm entering Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Puerto Vallarta, and then I went north a little bit to. There's a popular place called Sayulita. This is in the state of Nayarit. Sayulita, and that's pretty much gringoed out. So I went to a place called Lo de Marcos, and then kept going. Now we're going through the tunnels at Guanajuato, Mexico. And going over towards San Miguel de Allende. That's San Miguel de Allende, another gringoed out place. And now we're in the capital of Mexico.
When you say gringoed out, do you just mean white people?
I just mean expats, white people. And
okay.
I really tried to avoid them as much as possible. I didn't even when we met.
You don't want to be associated with those dirty.
It was so shocking. I actually met Zeke and Wendy, who will be here tomorrow, actually at a wedding in Yucatan and Playa del Carmen, and I was so shocked by the gluttony, and I was grateful for the shower and the food that I had, but it was like, where the fuck am I? I had spent 6 weeks on the road in proper Mexico before I met up with these.
That's Belize.
Yeah, Belize.
How do you actually say it? Is it Belize?
In how do gringos say it? How do we say it?
No, how are you supposed to say it?
I honestly, I think it's probably Belize. It's not a Spanish speaking country.
No th sound. Yeah. No Belize.
No.
Okay.
Belize. That's probably Barcelona.
There's Barcelona.
Barcelona.
But not Belize.
If you were in Barcelona, you would say Belize. Belize. Yeah. So nice. Yeah, now we're headed towards. We're almost towards Guatemala. I think. Yeah, there we go. So I entered at Tikal. I was blessed to see the ruins of the Teotihuacan in Mexico, and then various Mayan ruins from Guatemala down to Honduras. I think that stopped. Okay. And then picked it up again with the Incas in Peru.
You have hold on, let me pause this. You have a map. Do you have like a static map? Because I know there's a video. Do you have a static map that shows like the little dots along the way?
I would have to.
I thought you did.
At the end of the route, you can get one where it doesn't. You could take this one that's got really cool ambient music by it. You're gonna have to mute that too. That's gonna be Brian Eno. Yeah, towards the end, it's pretty good. Let's see. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
What's that?
I just screenshotted it. Yeah. So we can pull it up. There we go.
Yeah, 6 months. I needed to tap out I needed to pause a little bit. It was a little heavy, so I rented an apartment for cheap in Granada, Nicaragua, right on Lake Nicaragua. Yeah. Peyote or ayahuasca at any time. Truth be known, I celebrated 26 years sober last December. So, to be honest, I don't think I would have made it out of Mexico if I were not sober. I definitely wouldn't have been able to make this trip, finish it. I think knowing Spanish and honestly being sober probably let me finish this trip, and to be able to return with 28,000 pictures and 4,000 videos, and to be able to mail external hard drives back to Montana 4 times along the way just to make sure in case my shit got smashed or jacked or
Yeah, that's
whatever.
right. I forgot. Yeah, most of your like a lot of your pictures got. Oh man, that's a story for another time. Maybe at the end of this. But so 473 days, 53 miles per day, 193 unique stays.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Just unique places that you slept?
Slept that night. Where did I sleep that night? Yeah. So and most nights were it says right there 2.5 per 2.5 nights per stay. So now we're in El Salvador at a place called Casa Cristal. Fucking beautiful. And one of my favorite pictures is this rain coming down and me sleeping, me resting in my van in the afternoon with this rain trickling down the back window. El Salvador had the worst road I was on. There's a entire chapter dedicated in the book to the called the Donkey Road, where my GPS fucked me hard and took me to the closest. Yeah.
Shut up.
The closest route, closest distance,
So where's El Salvador?
Up in Central America.
Okay. So
it's really blurry.
Here, there.
Here, let me see. I think El Salvador's about right here, isn't it?
Okay.
I can't. Well, it's about right there,
Okay.
right where that bend makes. Because then I went up into Honduras and down through. That's Lake Nicaragua. I could see because it's blue.
Okay.
That's El
because it's blue.
right there. Yeah. Yeah, and then you can see the fancy. Yeah, you can see the fancy ferry where I said goodbye to Bestia Verde for a bit. Put her in a container, loaded it on there, and it was fucking sketchy. Shared the container with a couple from Australia.
So there's a few questions that have been burning questions. Someone asked if something about gangs or were you worried or scared about any sort of like criminal element or anything like that?
I really wasn't. I mean, especially the more I went along, and after meeting that guy from Belize, he was definitely, 25 years older, 25, 30 years older than me, but he talked about getting jumped at some of these countries and how, he's just like, whatever, I've had a good life. And there was I think I absorbed a little bit of that, honestly. And as far as the criminal elements, the golden rule is just don't travel after dark, and that's easy kind of when you're camping and living in a van because you're kind of done anyway, and not. I think the majority of bad things that happen in these countries, unless including the cartels, like you're doing what you're not supposed to be doing, where you're not supposed to be doing it, who you're not supposed to be doing it with. You know what I mean? And especially, obviously, that goes with cartel, but that also is true for fucking goofy gringos that get into buying drinks for everybody at a bar or flashing cash or getting hookers or buying drugs.
Yeah.
You're asking for fucking trouble.
So tell us, okay, you were telling me something interesting yesterday. I feel like I'm interviewing you, but I kind of am.
Look at that attack, man.
Zeke finally got himself a decent boyfriend. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He's my guy.
You could do far worse. That's
my guy.
For sure.
Yeah. He's my guy. No, tell us about because you obviously we've discussed it. You speak fluent Spanish.
See?
What is like the benefit, like, or what are the benefits? Because we know there are benefits. It has to be.
Well, and this kind of goes back to the gangs and stuff like that. I think, being sober, and knowing Spanish were my force field, my protective devices, because
Sure.
especially at borders, some of my best interactions were at the borders or at checkpoints or whatever with people with machine guns and people able to do harm and really take advantage of the situation. But when I come out with Spanish, especially at the level I do, people, it's really kind of disarming.
Right.
It's holy shit. This guy gives a shit, and actually kind of got me some second looks along the way. Like, where are you from, man? And I lived in Barcelona, Spain for a while, so I tend to carry a little bit of that accent through these, and plus a real academy type Spanish, which doesn't sound like a lot of the places I go to, but so I get where are you from type shit. But it was Spanish has gotten me, it got me into Europe, it got me into travel in Spain, and obviously people do this. There's a Facebook group called Pan American Travelers Association, and there's like 35,000 members of people who have done this trip, are doing it or want to do it. So check that out.
Done what trip?
This Pan American. I mean, that's kind of what this is. It's overlanding. We call ourselves overlanders. Whatever. But there's people that the classic route is from Alaska. I mean, if I was
Alaska to
a real man,
Argentina?
a real man would have started in Alaska. Yeah.
Oh, I made that trek for you. I actually did. I drove from in the back of a Winnebago from Juneau to Billings, and you're not missing much. Like, it's not an adventure per se. It's just a nice long road trip. And, Canadians, the thing I discovered with that road trip was that Canadians are suspiciously nice. Like, they're like you gotta side eye them a little bit. Like, what the fuck? What's your deal? What's your grift? You conning me? What the fuck?
I'll answer this one. So, yeah, the what people usually do is.
Let's say the question first.
Oh, did you drive back to Montana from Argentina or sell the van and fly? So the end of the road is Route 3, I believe, is where it stops at the ocean there at what is it, Tierra del Fuego National Park, and then I drove up a little bit back into Chile, in and out of Chile, and then I rented an apartment in Valparaiso, Chile, just to start editing these pictures and putting shit together and start planning for the book and my dreary fucking life coming back home. And like, what do you do? But I was able to sell the van, which most people do in Chile. It's always safe anywhere along the route. You can sell the vehicle from a traveler to a traveler, because then if it's a citizen in a country, it becomes a different thing, because then you got to register with the state. But if I'm giving it to Zach, who's just going to take it somewhere else, all you need is a power of attorney back in the U.S. to convert those papers, my Montana paperwork, and make Zeke the new owner.
Is that for people that want to drive back up?
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
okay.
People sell in Alaska to people going south. People sell in Chile to people going north. But I sold mine to another cat from Australia who had just come in from Japan. He was a skier, so he took that. I was escaping the winter, and he took it back south.
Oh, sure.
From Chile,
so you can go skiing. Yeah.
He was crazy, man. So yeah.
So what I'm most curious about, like, I want to know. Okay, how many countries?
15.
15 countries. Okay. What I want to know is, like, country by country. Just pull up a map. Maps. Go zoom all the way out. There we go. There's Thornton. Okay. So you go through Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you hit. Was there anything surprising about Mexico?
Well, I'll say this is that I'd sold my gallery and my photo studio in the summer/fall of 2016. Paid my mother and father off for help with down payment. Paid the city of Billings off. Went to Philadelphia, stayed with friends out there, rented a car, drove up to Maine, did a side trip to Ireland.
I thought we were fucking talking about Mexico. What the fuck are we doing here?
I know. But then I came back and I was with my friends. We're gonna get back into it. For election night, that lovely election night in 2016. Oh, okay. As we saw the results come in.
Yes.
And we're fucking dismayed at like, you got to be kidding me.
I remember
all the times that was like, this has got to be it. This has got to be it. This has got to be it. He fucking won.
Yeah.
And I was already in motion. There was a guy back in Montana that had been, looking, inspecting this 2005 Dodge Grand Caravan. So it was like a good news, bad news
Oh.
deal. So I was like, bad news is Trump got elected. Good news is I'm fucking out.
I'm
man.
out.
I'm out in a month. Good luck with this shit. So in Mexico, especially, I just felt like an informal ambassador and an apologist. I mean, so many hugs and like, I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm sorry.
serious?
I'm serious.
That is fucking.
I was
that's
in.
hilarious.
I was north of Mexico City. I think on the 20th, somewhere north of, in between, whatever, Guanajuato and Mexico City when he got inaugurated, and it was at a peak then, like this great pomp and circumstance for the just biggest J-hole that there's ever fucking been.
Yeah, what's a J-hole?
Jackhole.
Oh, jackhole. Okay.
Yeah, could be a lot. Could be a lot of holes. Jimmy hole. I don't know. Jerk hole.
Jermaine hole.
Yeah. So, it was incredible, and there was a lady. I give her a chapter. Her name was Alma, which means soul in Spanish.
Right.
And was the name of my gallery. Actually, was Del Alma, Gallery of the Soul in Billings. And it was in the cathedral in Mexico City, right off the Zócalo. And the Zócalo is this giant. That's the kind of generic name for a plaza. It's interchangeable with plaza, main plaza in a town. But the plaza in Mexico City is a proper fucking plaza. So much they call it a Zócalo. Giant. I mean, the blocks empty, just bricks. And there's a cathedral, the Catedral. And this lady came up to me and I was taking pictures, and this tiny Mexican woman was crying, and she just said, "We're not bad people." And I was
wow.
And I was like, I get chills, and
Dude.
I took her and we sat down in a pew and I talked with her, and ended up, after saying, man, he, a brief lesson in the shitty election system, was like, listen, he technically lost by 3 million votes, but we have this election system so the coasts don't get all the power. Zócalo with a Z, Zócalo. And she was, after 15 minutes, she's like, I have an appointment with my senator tomorrow, and I would like you to talk with him. Do you want to meet me at the Senate? And I said, yeah, let's do that. So I met this woman at the Zócalo. She was 2 hours late, so we fucked off. She fucked off on the appointment, but I got to go into the Mexican Senate.
Wow.
And I ended up having pizza at her family's house like the next night with her and her husband and 2 twin daughters, and it was lovely. And that was Alma, and that's like one story. I was so Mexico. I was so fresh and like so open to it. The longer the road went on, it became more about a mission, and I'm sure fatigue set in. So I was like, I stopped connecting, especially in like South America.
Yeah.
I was just like, there was blood in the water, and I got to say that the most sobering part was when I got to Quito, Ecuador. And I started in Billings, Montana.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
let's find Ecuador, which is near the equator.
Yeah, it's next to Chiapas, Mexico. Go south, man. Keep going south. There you go, buddy.
There we go.
There you
go. What was the name?
Quito.
That's it right there. Okay.
So, but I don't know if we can mark these. So, can you mark it? No. I fucked up.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's got to be a way. But I'll just put Quito at the bottom. Kind of where I first started at the top.
Okay.
So Montana's up here. I got to Quito, and I wasn't halfway to the fucking end of the road. And I looked that up. As the crow flies, I was not halfway.
Yeah.
And it was like so sobering. So like.
So hold on. So that's this from here to here.
Is
from Billings, Montana, which is right here.
Now, to Quito, Ecuador.
Now, can you drop I know you can drop a pin or something,
that's
right?
That's what I was trying to do.
Measure distance. There we go. There. Okay, so that's as the crow flies. Oops. That's where. That's not even halfway to like.
You're more exact on Quito than you are with Billings, but yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Like there-ish.
Yeah. Ooh.
Not
good.
bad. Not
Ooh,
bad.
nice,
Not bad.
nice.
Not bad. Okay. So there you go. Wait a minute. Is Quito like right on the equator?
No, not quite.
That's not the equator.
But just zoom out. That's probably pretty good right there.
Anyway.
I mean, if you look out, And you look at where I was going, I wasn't halfway there. So, and as far as connecting with people, I was like,
yeah,
I smelled blood in the water, and I was like,
what do you mean by smell blood in the water?
It was like, because part of it, and those videos show it, that I kind of wanted to see. It wasn't a vacation, it wasn't this, and it wasn't, I didn't do this. I just kind of wanted, the mission was to drive it, to do it, to finish, to drive to the end of South America. Okay. So that's why all the videos, I had taken videos in towns and diving and snorkeling and Semuc Champe, Guatemala, which was fucking epic.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the mission was the road. So that's why all the videos are just, I had a GoPro mounted on the windshield wiper. So the blood in the water was like when I hit South America, it was like I'm on the land that I need to hit.
Right.
So I was just like, let's go. And that's why I didn't even make it to Brazil. I couldn't even fathom a country the size of Brazil at that point.
Oh, so, just cruising like, just take just a detour.
Yeah.
From there to like, over here.
And I did pretty good in the countries as far as seeing it.
Like,
but I didn't have an extra like 3 months.
I mean, it's only like 5,000 miles, 6,000 miles, whatever.
Yeah, so I didn't even make it as far east as Buenos Aires.
Right.
But I pretty much took to Peru, Bolivia, and then entered in northern Argentina.
So I started this question by asking you like about Mexico, and you told the story about going to the senator's like house and having his food with his kids and his wife.
Well,
or her like whatever.
Alma, yeah. I went there to the Senate with Alma and then hung out with her.
Okay. Then you went through Guatemala.
From Mexico, I went to Belize.
Oh, you went to Belize. Sorry.
Sure.
Okay, so you went to Belize.
Yeah.
Now, you have to go through Guatemala to get to Belize?
You could. Sure.
Wait a minute.
You could go you could go from Mexico to Guatemala, then Belize.
What's this dotted line here?
That's the border of Belize. I don't know why it's dotted. Kind of funky. Maybe it's.
You better believe it, right?
Unbelievable.
Okay, so tell me a story about Belize. I'm gonna make you tell 15 stories, fucker.
Right.
So get ready.
Yeah. Okay. Belize, lovely road probably one of my favorite roads called the Hummingbird Highway. It is in kind of central Belize. It's relatively short. Belize is pretty small as it is, but the highlight of Belize was I hadn't seen when I sold the building and proposed this tour. I did a Facebook post and I was like, hey, I want to go through these 15 countries. Does anyone know anything? One of the people that popped up was a friend of mine that I hadn't seen since junior high, named Trevor Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Giant dude. He's like, he was a tall 6'4", 6'6". When in high school, and we got in a lot of trouble growing up.
Sure.
So I was like, he said, I got some friends in Mexico, Belize, and Colombia, and I'm like, oh shit. Shit. So I was like, do I engage with?
I want to meet those friends.
Do I engage with Trevor or not? I'm like, yeah, we engage with Trevor. So he actually met me in Cancun right after I hung out at the wedding.
Right.
I went to hung out with him. We hung out in Cancun.
Oh yeah, so this is where the wedding was. This is where Dave met us.
Yeah, Playa Carmen.
Yeah, we went out there for the destination wedding. It is beautiful, gorgeous place. Yeah, and we even actually like traveled outside of the resort and
in the van.
It wasn't the same kind of feeling that the outside of Puerto Vallarta had.
Yeah,
this one was a little bit more maybe had a little more money. I don't know, but it didn't seem like as like, because outside of Puerto Vallarta, like it got kind of a little scary for someone like not from that area, you know. But that like traveling around with you, like actually maybe it was you. You were my like shield.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he speaks Spanish. Dave.
We can do this. Hey, that's what I thought. It was in dispute. That's the word I was going to use, that dotted line about the Belizean border here.
Oh, unresolved territorial dispute. Oh, okay.
So anyway, Trevor came down, and then we went to Isla Mujeres, which is an island off Cancun. You can probably see here. Beep, beep, beep. Isla Mujeres.
Wait, Mujeres, I know that.
Women.
Yeah.
Island of women.
The lady island.
There wasn't an impressive amount of women there. You know? I was not like, what?
Man, that John Denver's full of shit. Rocky Mountain High. Like, this fucking map is fucking terrible.
Who names this? And then we went to Tulum, and then we went down to Belize and hung out with some friends of hers, friends of Trevor's, I should say, on some islands off of Belize. There's
Wow.
there's San Pedro, and then there's Key Calker. Hicks K. Yeah, Key Calker. This is the big one. Is San Pedro? I thought it was over here. Where is it? Maybe that's it. I don't know. I didn't see that.
Did you go to the Key Chapel golf course?
Yeah,
Did you head over there?
I was
shoot 18.
I was really big on golfing during this thing. I was like, you know what? I appreciate all the people here and just the lovely green stuff. Fuck 'em, man. Key Calker, yeah, I stayed there almost 10 days.
See, I'm glad you're liking it, Sundog. I really am. Like this, like he has my rapt attention whenever he stops in a place for however long he stops, and then he just zooms on next adventure.
Yeah, so Key Calker was probably the highlight there, and the Hummingbird Highway.
Okay. Next country probably Guatemala. Then.
See, Guatemala. This is where I took that road trip with that guy. We were staying in San Ignacio at a lovely place called Clarissa Falls.
Right there.
You see it?
Clarissa Falls Resort.
Yeah, right on the Mopan. Yeah, Mopan River. But then you cross over here and go to Lago Petén Itzá, and then Tikal. Tikal ruins are right there.
Okay.
The highlight, I mean, that was probably some of my favorite ruins were in Tikal. Palenque, where it was back in Mexico, were pretty epic. And I didn't know that Palenque was the mushroom capital of Mexico.
Meaning what?
Like hongos, like hongos mágicos. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, you want some mushrooms?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So like psilocybin.
Holy shit, is that Moby? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Heard that before.
I forgot to tell you that if you stream for any given amount of time, you will be compared to any and everybody who looks even a little bit like you.
Yeah. Yes.
I've gotten probably, I would say, like 30 different comparisons of varying likeness to my face.
So just because this can't, I'll give you 2 highlights, and they're going to be very different.
Okay.
Because I just stayed with my buddy Charlie in Durango on the school bus, and we were talking about. I said, where do you go doo-doos? And he's like, I never have to like panic doo-doo. He goes to yoga, and he's Tai Chi or jiu-jitsu. He's in town, so he's always able to kind of time it out. And I said, you know what? That was my experience with the road trip. I almost never had like this is gonna happen in 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
One of those times happened on the way back from Tikal and the Lago El Ramate, where I seriously blew the fuck out on a pile of logs.
So you just like opened the butt gates.
Yeah, it was.
And
I just kind of adjusted my stance. There was no open. It was like I was open for biz, and I had no control. I didn't have the keys. You know what I mean? I just
was open for biz, and I didn't have the keys.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the best way I've ever heard diarrhea explained to me.
Yeah, dude, it was on. But then it was south, and I hung out with a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
Well, what was her name? That beautiful real estate agent that we used to do improv with. That I used to give shit all the time. And she'd get off stage, and I'd say, "Well, you tried." Maybe that's after your time.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Anyway, she gave me some foam boobies that I could hang like from the rearview mirror thing.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. Like fuzzy dice.
Yeah,
boobies.
I did that for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "What am I?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not that guy. So
we don't want to tell people we're American. Like,
yeah.
Right up.
So I did, but I did hang them from the passenger seat.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Seat, headrest. Yeah. And then I hung out with some dudes in a park down in Sayache. Sayache's right here. And I gave them a license plate and the foam boobies, a Montana license plate, an extra one. I had heard that that's kind of good, kind of cool currency. If you have stuff from the States, like license plate is a thing that you can gift for people, and they really like it.
Oh, okay.
So they had
like a keepsake kind of thing.
So so they have a Montana license plate at a
neato. Okay.
At a forest kind of a ranger station here in Sayache.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But the highlight of Guatemala for me was definitely a place called Semuc Champe. And it's Coban, Sayache. No, I can't. No, I can't find it.
You need to zoom out a little more.
Maybe.
Figure out where the fuck you are.
Maybe. Is this a fucking country? Or is that? Oh, Coban. I was confused. I thought that was the border. Sayaches. Looking for Lanquin, and then Sayache. There you go. San Agustin, Agustin, and Samuk Champe is right here.
Okay.
So it was a gnarly ass road. One of the worst roads I had taken up to that point was here to San Agustin, Lanquin. There's some caves there, and I camped out. But then riding in the back of these colectivos.
They call them colectivos?
A colectivo is like an informal bus. Where they'll have like a Toyota truck, and they'll put up some pipes in the back to make a little canopy. Yeah.
So everybody's hang on.
Yeah. So you can hang on, and then and it's like they'll just like informally come through the neighborhood and like drop people off here and there. Like, hey, anyway, up in the hills to this place called Samuk Champe, which is fucking paradise. It was insane. It was just these connected pools. We could look at it. These are their lame pictures, right?
Yeah, we could look at your awesome pictures.
Yeah, look.
But we want to sell the book.
Yeah, but the books will sell. Yeah, this is kind of give me some. What am I doing? I don't know. Why am I just doing this?
I was wondering that myself, honestly.
Well, you got me into the map mode, so yeah. So this is.
But also, this is gonna like if you're gonna want to go through every picture. I don't want you to do that.
Yeah, dude. So, but this is Samuk Champe, man. It's insane. Yeah, it's just and you just swam around these pools and underneath these waterfalls. It was absolutely amazing. You know, it is quite a hike down into there and then back up. But it's worth it. El Salvador, the highlight was actually a low light. I think I have told you this.
I love low lights.
Where GPS again was one of the greatest fuckings that I got on my trip. The shortest distance, you know, like hey, I want to go here, and it said, okay, well, this is the quickest way to get there. And so I got off this highway, and you know, a couple of hundred, maybe 100 yards down, I'm like, wow, this road really sucks. Like, this is a epic. This may be the worst one, but I'll make it. It can't be that long. But keep going. Wow, there's no people on this road. There's no like structures on this road. What's happening?
Right.
And by about 300 or 400 yards down the road, I'm like, this ain't right. I got to get back up. But the road had narrowed so much, and the road was so shitty. It's like I can't back up, and I can't go forward. And there's this rolling. It was like this rolling shit road where this one hill I was looking at was like I can't get over this. I can't get over that.
Right.
I tried to kind of give it a go, and I was like bottoming out with my wiener. Just kidding. My car, my van.
Okay.
And and because the spare tire was underneath.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't change that till Peru, which was really too far. Anyway, I'm like, I'm gonna die. So I thought
I'm gonna write something down so we go. I don't want you to keep going.
That's lame. That's no story.
Keep going.
There's no story to it. So I really started to panic and think like am I fucked here? Is this it? And I've got the bug out, big backpack. You know, I can stuff this. I can take this stuff. I can put my laptop bag on front. I need to store the external hard drive, whatever. But this is it. Is it? And like, oh man, I'm in El Salvador. I'm really not that far into this thing. And
yeah, what up,
and so I just I sucked it up. I gunned it and I put it on two wheels on the embankment of this road up over and like and I wish I had a video of it. Kind of glad I don't. But I went over and then like just bottomed out again on the next hill and hit the bottom and I was shaking and crying. I was just like max. I was spent. I mean,
it all just came crashing down.
The roads were no joke, man. The roads, I mean, and all the topes, which are speed bumps, which will take your car out if you don't see them, and all the potholes and you know checkpoints and whatever. I was just like, it was not a vacation. The whole thing was not a vacation. I was definitely not feeling the vacation part of it. Then it was not. It was a
right.
You know, to find food and water and lodging and you know SIM cards and whatever I needed to find along the way. Every day was like exhausting. So I just kind of hit the wall And then I made it over that bump, and then was like shaking and crying and came out. And I finally kind of got like spit out into this fucking village, and these people looked at me like I was a ghost, like, and I must have
bet, dude.
And you saw my hair; I hadn't cut my hair, so
oh
it was
god,
like
yeah.
So it was like Afroville, and I must have just looked like some sort of weird missionary that had just come down for like 200 years.
Your fucking tablets in your hand and shit.
Probably like I looked the other night when I came into your house, and your fucking poodles were barking at me,
dude. I told Dave an analogy that comedians use, the stand-up comedians use, when a comedian comes back to their hometown from being on a tour, like a road tour around, doing comedy stops. Dave had a lot of road on him. Like when he walked in to my house that day, he was jumping at every little thing, like he was ready to like just fucking karate chop anything that came into his peripherals.
I needed quiet time and chilling from I had left where I left Durango.
Yeah. And my dogs are a year and a half, so they still get super excited. They bark, and Dave was not prepared mentally for that. And yeah, I could see he almost slammed the door back closed. Like I was like, "Hey, Dave, come in." Ruff, ruff, ruff. It's like fucking fuck off. Went back into his car. Started rocking back and forth. I could totally see him do that.
Yeah, it was a little much.
Yeah. So that's where you were at San Salvador.
Yeah,
you popped out,
the road,
squirted out
and
of this.
And I finally, and these people looked at me, and I finally found my way. I staggered my way to the place I was staying. This Portuelo Park, and I parked the car at the lobby, and I walked in, and I was like crying. I was crying, and I said, you need to tell me that there's more than one road out of this place. He goes, no, there's only one road.
Oh fuck!
And I was just like, fucking devastated. I'm like, I'm gonna lose. I'm leaving the car. Fuck it. I go, dude, I can't take that road again.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, I'm sorry. Well, I haven't heard it was that bad. And I'm like, what?
That's not. I bet you didn't even take a real road.
So
huh?
I drove back to the place where the camping was, and all the cars were spotless. And I'm like,
fucking Dave,
what the fuck? So I went back and I said, tell me about the road. Tell me about the one road in here.
Yeah.
He said, well, you get off at the highway and it's all paved to here. I'm like, oh, because the road I took was not fucking paved. He goes, dude, you took the donkey road. He goes, that's not a road. That's for donkeys and like livestock. So that title of that chapter of the book is called The Donkey Road.
That's awesome, dude.
Fucking
GPS took you to the donkey road.
Just fucked me.
Wow.
Fucked me.
That's awesome. I love it.
Oh, I was sweating.
Dude,
I was sweating.
You fucking idiot. You went to the donkey road.
His eyes got kind of big too. Oh, that's not a road.
What
man.
happened to our road? It's nice. It's real nice.
You fucking boner. Yeah. Honduras.
Okay, so next
Honduras.
country is Honduras.
Yeah, and actually, this is one of those places, and I'm glad I didn't do a lot of research because although, I had some friends down in Costa Rica, I lived there from 99 to 2000. I had a family, kind of a surrogate family down there in San Jose. And they told me to just kind of blow through both Honduras and El Salvador. You could cross from Guatemala and get pretty quick to Nicaragua.
They told you to blow through it?
Yeah.
Because it's
no-go zone, bro.
Not safe.
Don't go there. And I was like, eh. And I spent, and I actually circled. I saw pound for pound. I probably saw most of El Salvador. I spent a lot of time. Spent only about 2 weeks, but it was, or 10 days or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And about the same in Honduras. But I'm glad I did, just to say I did it, and not to let fear kind of overwhelm me. But
sure,
I did get back, and I was putting my writings together, and I did learn that those countries are some of the murder capitals of the world. But I think
Sleepless Gamer says life is not valued in Honduras.
Yeah. I think I asked people. I asked some people as I got to know these people at this migrant shelter in Nogales recently.
Right.
I said I didn't feel at danger, and there were two bits of information that I got. One was that you were lucky, and two was like that it's fairly well known that don't fuck with white people, and that they have orders not to mess with white people, the cartels, because the last thing they want is more the last thing they want is the ire of the DEA or the CIA or whatever to
Right,
shine a light on their
Sure.
on their fuckery down there. So anyway, I was glad to go to Honduras. I'm kind of scrambling for Honduras right now. What I visited some lovely Copan.
What does that mean?
The site of Copan Ruinas. It's just a town in Copan. There were some great ruinas there. I will say that in preparing for my book, I came back with 28,000 pictures, 4,000 videos, and 150,000 words of notes, which is a lot of minutia. Like I ate here, I went this, so it's it's crap. But as I was writing the book, it was in Copan Ruinas, where in real time I was writing, okay, Trump fired the head of the FBI, James Comey, who was investigating him. I was like, this has got to be it, right? And then and then as I was writing the book, I was like, how fucking adorable. How adorable was I to think that firing the head of the FBI who was investigating you would be a bridge too far. There was a lot of bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you put an implement in your butthole.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's got to be as far as it goes. Nope. I can go further. Oh, I can go. Wow.
We don't give.
We're still going.
There's actually no fucks to be given.
There's no end to this.
Scott Evans, I was talking about Durango, Colorado. Yeah, I just stayed there with my buddy Charlie in a red school bus.
He's originally he's from Durango.
Yeah, my buddy Charlie lives there with the red school bus that doesn't have any fucking heat, and I almost died about 3 or 4 days ago. Spent 2 nights at 24 degrees. It was not pleasant.
Yeah. All right. So where are we? Shit.
Honduras.
Sorry.
Honduras.
Yeah. They have Las Vegas.
Yeah. It's probably a better Las Vegas, I'm sure. Yeah, I spent a couple nights at some great parks there. I can't think of much else.
So you didn't like stop at like talk to any people? Nothing.
I met some, the rangers that were at these parks. There was a great group. Where was it?
So I don't care about human life. But parks.
Lovely, yeah.
Pretty,
I
concerned. They're concerned with keeping.
And I still say that it's people probably being involved in stuff they're not being involved in. Although that was kind of shattered by my experience with these people down in Nogales, these migrants,
sure,
refugees that sometimes just living in the wrong area will make you a prey to corruption and like, hey, you have a nice house. Why don't you give me an extra $200 a month to live there?
Oh yeah.
Or, hey, nice business. Why don't you give me 15%? We'll let you keep it.
Yeah.
Or hey, what a nice
fucking racket.
Nice head of cattle there. Why don't you give me $1 a kilo and we'll call it good? Or we'll just fucking take it.
Just murder you.
We'll just take it or murder you.
Yeah.
Take your kids or what the fuck ever. So yeah, it's rough right now. Honduras was cool. Then it was Nicaragua. And the highlight of Nicaragua, there's some great mountains up here. What was I saying? Jinotega's got to be north of that. Yeah, Jinotega, Matagalpa. These are just lovely drives in the hills around kind of northern Nicaragua, and then Managua, and it was just great to hear. I mean, when I grew up, I was starting to come of age or whatever. And when I my recollections of when I heard Managua and Nicaragua were a fucking war zone. And, in El Salvador and all these places, and it turns
Nicaragua wasn't that Noriega? That's
Panama.
Panama, sorry.
Yeah,
my bad.
That's okay. But this was the Sandinistas and the blanking on it now.
Someone before you run out of steam, could you go back and forth between the end and the beginning? Well, I more easily just show you the screenshot here. This is the that worked out very well. I forgot I'm in paint. I can just control. There you go. This is the beginning and the end, from Billings, Montana, all the way down to the almost southern tip of South America.
Southern wiener tip.
Wiener.
But like I said, this is 6 months in. It takes me 6 months to get to Nicaragua and about Managua, and I hit the wall, man. I mean, there's only so much room.
I saw the shit go down in Grenada. Sorry, that's from Natural Born Killers.
I don't remember that.
Robert
So
Downey Jr. says it.
there's only so much. I'm just gonna leave my glasses like that because that's how I.
Sounds good.
This is how I felt after 6 months, actually, and it was like there's only so much room on the hard drive, and I needed a timeout, and I needed the wheels to stop rolling, stop.
Hard drive.
I needed the mental hard drive, the soul hard drive, whatever it was. I needed no more input, so I hold up there and put together my 6 month video, and actually resurrected some audio and video of
in Grenada.
in Grenada. Yeah. I don't even know how much I paid, like $400, $400 for the month, something like that.
$400 for a month?
Yeah.
So you stayed there for a month?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
30 days. I went into deep timeout.
You call it timeout.
I self-induced timeout. Like I said, I couldn't the wheel. I needed to stop the trip for a bit and just
month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I got a better price for it, and it was cool, and it
$400 for a month, like that's doable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go to Grenada now. I'm like, can I get this place for a month?
Yeah.
It was great. That's less than the fucking plane ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was lovely. And then I did a little side gig here. I shot some pictures of a resort in Leon. Where's Leon? Too far up? Leon should be up to the. There it is, Leon.
There it is.
Yep, I just shot a Hotel Mariposa in Leon, and they let me stay there for a couple nights for that. Nice.
Wait a minute, you went from Grenada back up?
Yeah, during my stay there, I did a side trip up here to Leon. During my 30 days, and then came back.
Gotcha.
Went to Las Peñitas. Got pictures there.
Las Peñitas. Sorry.
Yeah, and if you guys
it sounds sexual.
If you guys go back and forth, a lot of these places, will have pictures, right? This is my place in Grenada. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really cool old finca. It's not a finca. It's some sort of little house. But I didn't really get out that much. That's the place at night where I stayed. Pretty cool.
Wow, these photos are pretty good.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, let's see me put 1,000 words to each of these, fucker. Awesome.
I could put 1,000 words to anything you show me. I talk for 8 hours a day. That's my job. It's not gonna be good. You didn't say good.
You could write 1,000 words for each one.
Fuck yeah, I could, but I'm not gonna.
You could
don't ask.
You could talk. Oops, I went one too far. Then Costa Rica. It was back to Costa Rica where I lived a year. So honestly, I was like, Costa Rica. I'm a fucking snob. I'm like, and it is.
So you're like, fuck this place. Like, I'm out of here.
It's probably the most Americanized country south of Mexico, I would say.
Sure.
Including South America. And
Costa Rica is very much a destination.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of gringos there. So I pretty much kind of took some new routes up here and went around north of. I returned to Arenal. That was cool. I spent a couple nights here at a little windsurfing place, and that was really cool. That's where the cover of the book comes from, actually.
Do you ever feel like a photojournalist, or more just as someone recording a journey, or something else? That's a good question.
That is a good question. I tell you, up until I just kind of want to get it all down to a fault. Just like capture all this, and there's a part of me that doesn't just want to store that, but reflect it back and give it back. And I've never felt more like a photojournalist than I have in the past couple of weeks as a result of that work with the migrant shelter in Nogales. Like it was really important shit.
Sure.
I mean, up till now, it's kind of me been arguably jacking off and just kind of into a mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just kind of talking about but I think there's some themes in
you could also argue that's my job as well. I just jack off into a mirror.
Touche.
You love me yet? You guys love me?
Why are you pointing that? That I was gonna catch.
Are you really gonna dodge my imaginary jizz shot? Okay.
You're a professional, dude. Jay or offer.
So tell me about Costa Rica. How was it?
It was good to be back. It was weird, San Jose had changed. I actually worked there. I lived there for a year before. I ended up tutoring a girl who had phonetic dyslexia. She was the daughter of a couple from Texas who had a little ranch down there, and they took me to their house. And because of I had just got done teaching 2 years in the Chicago public schools, and I was certified, and all my stuff was current. So I actually worked with the school and gave this girl her grade. And then they turned me on to this couple from Boston who were renting cell phones. It was fucking bizarre. So I was making a lot of money, and someone ratted me out. Immigration department. You remember this story? The immigration department knocked on the business one day, and I was the only one there. And they said, we need to see everybody's work papers. And I said, no tengo papeles, man. I don't have any papers. And they said, called it down to the station and said, you know what? If it weren't Friday, and we gave more of a shit, then you'd spend the weekend in jail. And we'll see you at your immigration trial on Monday.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit.
Thanks, Foul Dreams.
So the boss sent me in with 2 lawyers, and we went into this waiting room, this immigration department, and someone in the waiting room had chickens. And so we're like,
wait, were they the lawyers?
Yes. No. Yeah. So I had lawyers, and someone else across the room had chickens. And
for lawyers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? Who knows? I didn't ask. Come to think of it,
they specialize in bird law.
So what's that from?
Always Sunny.
Fucking a bird law, Charlie.
Bird law mostly. Yeah. I too am a lawyer of the law persuasion. Bird law mostly.
Charlie.
Yeah.
So we cut one of the lawyers loose. It was a little much, and they ended up bribing the judge.
I like how you're like, I don't want to look like a gringo, but meet my lawyers, plural,
in suits.
Yeah.
Nice chicken, fucker.
Nice.
Good luck with that chicken.
Hey, don't dog it. That chicken got him busted down from murder to manslaughter.
That chicken's got a surprisingly impressive record.
Yeah, win-loss ratio. He's doing real good in open court. He loves going to trial.
When he gets going, just starts pecking,
stopping at him.
Pecking and hurling. Yeah.
He uses the corn defense a lot.
So yeah, it was good. Yeah, I ended up. I think.
So tell me about the lawyers. You walked in with 2 lawyers. What happened?
Oh, they bribed the judge. They pay off the lawyers. I have to leave.
So it be like that then. It is like that.
Well, it was probably arguably a fine.
Sure.
But yeah. But I had to, at that time in '99, I had to leave Costa Rica for 3 days to renew, because my visa had expired. I was working illegally. I mean, I really fucked the cat.
Sure.
So I had to go to, actually, that was my first visit to Nicaragua, and I stayed in Lake Nicaragua.
Did you stay at White Penis?
I stayed at White Penises. White Penises. No, I stayed at Ometepe is where I stayed. I went on this island. FYI, this is, I believe it's the only lake in the world with freshwater sharks.
Really? The only lake in the world with freshwater sharks? That's amazing.
I believe that's true. You guys can check me on that. Lake Nicaragua. I'd be surprised at Titicaca in Bolivia, which always kind of gives me a giggle.
Always.
If it didn't, but I think it's too high for that stuff, for that matter.
Okay.
So anyway, saw some new parts of Costa Rica, which included Uvita, which was a nice little, I think it was just kind of the surfer camp, kind of a little weird Valhalla type thing. I just want to pull up some. They're in order that where I went, by the way. I really did like. Oh, there's some epic. I got to show you some monkey pictures from. It really rained so yeah, it got hot in Costa Rica and Central America, so there was a lot of camping, and this was a nice place.
Oh, that's you camping.
That's me camping.
Okay.
That's the Bestia Verde.
There it is.
Montana Plates, and there was a wicked. Oh, that's a video. There's a wicked rainstorm. I mean,
with rain that even seemed to come up from underneath.
And get that lip caught on a tripwire. There's sideways rain. Yeah. Good little crab shot. What's up?
What's up?
What's up, crabber? Yeah. That's Uvita, and then took I gotta show you the epic monkey pictures from. I mean, they were all up in the biz, man.
Wow. Okay.
They wanted some shit.
Sure, they just run wild.
Well, I was look at that. That's probably the one. That's in the book actually. Yeah, I think they were impressed with my. I need bananas. You'll notice when I stopped and got cheese, I got
He
a
brought in a bunch of bananas.
A bunch of bananas. I needed bananas, is the thing, and the monkeys tend to like bananas.
Weird.
Yeah, and then
Who'da thunk?
Previous time I was here, I visited the kind of southeast. This is the Osa Peninsula here.
Mm-hmm.
So on this road trip, I kind of checked out the other corner here, the northwest corner. But that's a really unexplored, largely unexplored area of Costa Rica. There's a lot of gnarly stuff.
Hold on, I'm just gonna close.
You getting some music?
Yeah.
Get some jams.
Turn this back on. Without it being too annoying.
Oh, is that the open doors for the air?
The air conditioning. I just hope it's not too annoying. Probably.
All right, now I'm kind of coordinating stuff. Now I'm getting the
there.
I'm getting the thing. All right. So again, at each border, you gotta first. One of the first stops is to change. I needed to get a new SIM card. Verizon will work in Canada, U.S., and Mexico, but other than that, each country you need a new SIM card. So Spanish is really helpful at that point.
You need a new SIM card in every single country.
Every country.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because.
All right. Have a good night, son, dog.
Buenas noches. Hasta mañana. So there's David. Look at that.
Hey, David.
Blew through that shithole. Just it's my name.
Stop there and take a picture.
It's just my name. I don't know. But the highlight was probably Boquete.
Okay.
Boquete's just due north of David, and I already kind of got some pictures here. Oh, there he is. Well, that's after my haircut.
Holy fuck, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Jesus Christ.
So there's and that's after I just
forgot about that, Dave.
I had just gotten just gotten my haircut.
Jesus.
Wait, how do I do it? Pretty close.
Wow. Here, you want a side by side? Here we go.
I'm just trying to
Hold on.
But I need to look at the camera. I can kind of look at it.
There you go. Yeah. Dude, you look fucking wild and woolly, buddy.
Yeah.
You look like you had some trip in you.
Yeah, had some miles on that beard. Yeah. Yep. But I think that was probably part of what kind of didn't get me fucked with you. It was like, this guy seems unstable.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm sure, like even after like being out in the like road trip and being out in the sun, tanning your skin, like, and growing the beard and the hair and shit like that, like, were you harder to pick out, or were they just like gringo?
I think actually the beard kind of helps, or I don't know. I think kind of depended on where I was, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, and this is after.
So, this is you're getting your haircut, or you already had it cut?
This was my first haircut since 1999. Other than that, I've usually shaved.
Oh, you do
usually
yourself?
Pretty short. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Boquete, and it might not be that impressive. There's some great kids on the road here, and what the difference between these two pictures, this is a pretty good story, is just the simple sound of I think it was just a fart gun. This is before the fart gun.
Okay.
That's before and after.
Oh, you just fart gunned it at him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Farts are universal.
That looks. The little girl looks like she's like, oh, he's special. Okay. Okay.
Oh. This was a trippy German had knocked up a local gal in Boquete years before.
Uh-huh.
So it was like this. Is that all I got of that little hostel I stayed at? Little hotel hostel. Dropped a fucking shoe there. Dropped a sandal, a Teva sandal there. Had to get one of the many times I had to get new Teva sandals. Look at this rock formation in Boquete. Come on, man. What the fuck? It was like rock cable. You know what I mean? These are bands that kind of come out.
It looks like waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. There's a pretty good one, wasn't it?
All right, like I said, We go through these pictures. We're gonna be here all day.
Yeah. Okay. and then I
Panama.
the Ciudad de Panama. That's where Noriega.
Okay.
There was the CIA puppet Noriega that we got tired of. He stopped behaving, so we sent the fucking army in there after him. Pretty cool.
Right.
A lot of the fuckery and the devastation and crime can be traced back to U.S. intervention and what we have done. Yeah, especially
I don't believe that.
If you want some disturbing shit, look up the United Fruit Company. Yeah, United Fruit Company and how they colonized and fucked.
Oh, that's where the term Banana Republic came from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. United Fruit Company and all the fuckery, especially in Central America. Put the Bestia Verde on a container in Colon, and it met me in Cartagena. And
Wait! You didn't even say anything about Panama.
Boquete. I thought I stopped on Boquete enough.
Where?
Boquete is what I just showed pictures
sorry.
of.
My bad.
Like,
My bad.
Man,
my bad.
Enough with the fucking pictures.
I didn't see you cross the border. I'm sorry.
It's all right. So yeah. Also, side note, this part here.
Did you see the canal? Like, not
I
impressive?
think I drove by. I don't care.
Oh, not impressive at all. Okay.
I think I did see it. Where is it? Where is the canal?
It would be right there, right?
No, I think it's over here. There's the fucking Panama Canal, yo. No, it clearly was not on. I don't care. That's a tourist fucking thing.
Okay,
Seriously.
sure.
So there's
just a wonder of human ingenuity and like construction and shit. Like I've seen big buildings. I don't need to see another one. I've seen Hoover Dam. I don't need to see something like that.
the west of the city is the word on the street. So it must.
It's kind of not. I took a cruise through the canal. It didn't look like much. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Well,
score one for me. Yeah. So there is actually land here between Colombia and Panama. This section of land here is known as the Darien Gap, and there it is, the Darien National Park. So the Darien Gap would be over here, and it is a widely known as a no-go zone that is traversed only by drug smugglers, human traffickers, and the worst of humanity. And one of the first people I just met down in Tucson doing this immigration work was a refugee who had walked started in Necoclí, which is Colombia. I believe he took a boat across here and then traversed 3 days across the Darien Gap.
Just walking
with a group of people, yeah. And he showed me pictures. I met him at a barbecue 3 days into fucking at Pastor Randy's house in Tucson, Salvador actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed me pictures of dead body, just hanging over a tree in the Darien Gap. And I said, how many pictures do you have? And he said, hundreds. So I'm like, we need to save those right now. So I saved those onto my laptop, and I'm working with him. I actually got him a place to live in Billings, Montana.
Wait a minute, hold on.
What?
100 pictures of bodies?
No, I mean just of the journey,
okay.
from. Sorry, no, but he did say, and this is why I bring this
God
up.
damn.
He said the first one scares you when you see the first one.
Yeah.
But then he said I just put my head down for 3 days and didn't want me to be in someone's picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to become one of the dead. And that gives me chills because I drove down here, and granted we probably didn't take the same routes, and I could go into the mountains, which he probably avoided, but
sure,
thousands of miles, man. I mean, he went from here to here walking.
Fuck.
And I'm sure some buses along the way, but the majority was on foot. I mean, and hiding out and getting, especially he said the worst time he got really shook down 3 times in his group in Panama, which is surprising. And like everything is surprising to me because I was unfucked with the entire time. Probably because of the Spanish, not being goofy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was a white dude.
So white privilege extends outside of like America?
You're fucking right.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty shameful, but I'll take it. At the end of the day, it's like thank you, but I wish. I think about other people who don't have that as the thing.
Yeah.
It differentiates me between a lot of pricks in America.
No, I mean? it's like that. But I think it was an old Louis C.K. bit. I've brought this up before, but it's like, if I get reincarnated, I'm like, oh, if I get a pick, like I'll take white male again. Like that was great. That was wonderful. It was clearly the best. Like the easiest life to live is white male for now. For now.
Yeah. So that was putting in. I mean, just the. I'll say this as soon as I put the. They give you this sheet and you have to fill out so much paperwork, and it took me, 3 days to get it out of Cartagena once it was in the fucking docks, but or at the whatever, the shipment place wherever it arrived. Anyway, but after I loaded it, I was like, huh. And it was traveling across some pretty warm. This is a pretty warm area of the world, and I thought about.
I've heard that.
I thought about those 5 or 6 propane tanks for my cooking stove that I left.
Yeah.
In my van.
Yeah, they're gonna get warm
in a container.
Yeah.
On a ship. I was like, did I just explode? Did I just sink a ship? Did I just load a bomb onto a fucking boat crossing that? And it really kind of it kind of kept me up for a couple nights, a couple nights. Like, oh fuck. All my shit and everybody's shit.
Yeah.
But it did make it.
And those propane tanks, they do explode if there's heat, enough heat near them.
But I think
I learned that the hard way.
I think what we're getting at is find that sweet spot. Just do it. It can get really hot, but not too hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's that spot that Zach came on the other side of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I went a little too far with this accidental undoused cigarette. Almost burned my house down. But we're not talking about me. All right, so you go through Panama. It wasn't much of a like.
Panama was lovely. I spent. I had some brake issues. Oh, I had a lot of especially brake and suspension shock work done in San Jose, and my buddy Evan probably didn't hook me up as well as he could have because it came out again down here.
Your new buddy?
No, my family friend, my
oh right,
friend,
okay,
family I stayed with in part of San Jose. I can't remember right now. Desamparados? No, it wasn't. Anyway, so it fucked off down here. There was a lovely little hippie spot down south of Pedací. Where's Pedací? Where the fuck are we?
You're in Panama?
Yeah. Pedací. Anyway, it was around the corner.
If it's a small town, you might have to zoom in more.
It was Banao Cove. Banao Cove was a lovely little hippie spot. Again, sober Dave does not return. Unsober Dave doesn't return, I should say. Back to Panama City, where I.
If you were drinking and partying, that's where you live. And
I found 50 places that have been like, oh, I'm good. Especially with Trump back home, I'd have been like,
oh yeah, dude.
Fuck. Yeah.
How easy do you think it would be to live down there without papers?
It depends on where you go,
Okay.
and if you can offer, which I could, if I could offer being a plus to the place as far as maybe financially, like investing, or buying something or something cheap, If you bring money in, you're good.
They don't just steal it from you?
No. Okay. That's part of the thing. I mean, you'd have to know. It would take knowing the right person, to do some scouting for you. Say someone who could take pictures and speak Spanish, and knows these areas very well.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And send someone down there, and that you could maybe send them on a scouting trip of some of these areas that you're interested in. They could report back to you and really get the lay of the land and get to know some lawyers close or something like that. All right, so I flew from Panama City to Cartagena. Now
because the ship had your van, right?
There's people, Richie Riches, that will take cruises through the San Blas Islands and kind of make their way for like 4 days over here. And there was part of me that was like, I don't want the Basia to be waiting. Little did I know it was fucking fine and locked down as hell at the port in Cartagena.
Okay.
So I think it was partly financial too. It was like, that seems really rich to do that kind of shit.
So you like totally skipped like Medellin and all that shit.
Oh, dude, come on. All right, I flew to Cartagena, which is really cool. Has a really great old quarter. I mean, that's all pretty old, right? But where the Spanish created, you know, like castles and fortifications and cannons and
Is this
guard
is
towers.
this one of the first places they like colonized or something?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think this used to be called Gran Colombia, Venezuela, Colombia, maybe Ecuador. This was all Gran Colombia back in the day.
Okay.
But Simon Bolivar really was the spearhead of a lot of this shit.
Right on.
Barranquilla. Oh, I was gonna say my passport was gonna be expiring in like 6 months as I entered one of these countries. And as you enter a country, you have, or maybe, was it flying or whatever? Your passport needs to be good for 6 months after you leave that country. And
I knew. I found that out when I was scheduled to go to Germany for a Twitch thing, and I was like, I had my bags. I was at the fucking airport, and they were like, scan your passport. They're like, what's going on? What's going on? And the person was like, where are you going? Germany. Like, yeah, Germany needs your passport to be valid 6 months, like from the date you're scheduled to leave that place. And I was like, but it's valid now. I have 3 months left on this. And they're like, not good enough. I was like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to be there. This is a job. This is like nope, can't do anything. That I learned that the hard way. So lesson to anybody, if you want to travel with your passport, make sure it's fucking valid way longer than you need to be there.
Yeah, for at least 6 months after you leave the place you're going to. So I
asked that exact same question, Mr. Whiskey Dick. What the fuck is the point of an expiration date? Canada and Mexico. Canada and Mexico are cool with it.
Yeah.
Like most other places are like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. So I had to, in Cartagena, I had to go up and get a new passport, order a new passport in Barranquilla, at the U.S. consulate in Barranquilla. And they were going to send that, and I had to time it out. And as you can probably guess, my schedule was fairly fucking loose.
Yeah.
But I had to schedule a time. Okay, where can you send it? Where am I going to be? It's going to take 2 weeks. Where am I going to be? Okay, I think I'll be in Cali. So I had to time it out to where I had to be down here in Cali in a window of time before. I didn't want it to stay at the office too long because it kind of scared me at that point. I was learning what Latin America was like, and it's a little fucking loose.
Sure.
So I was like, why don't I time that really well? So in between, I went through Cartagena, hung out there, and then kind of went through the center. I went over through Bucaramanga.
Now hold on a second. With your van or without your van?
I got the van. Van's fine.
Okay.
My passport's fine. I mean, until they actually no, they had to take my old passport and give me papers.
Oh,
but
okay.
I had my driver's license.
Okay.
And I had enough to keep going.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, I drove through Bucaramanga and then Medellin. Medellin, you know, and I'll just say this: I think Colombia was the biggest surprise. Ooh, there's a little pin.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that. How do you do that?
I don't know.
Just click?
I think I just clicked. Look at that.
Crazy. Okay.
Fucking diabolical.
Thank you.
I think Colombia was the biggest surprise just because of all the mala fama.
Yeah.
You know, the bad repute that it's gotten, deservedly-ish.
Sure.
You know, over the years, especially, you know, Pablo Escobar. But I will say that Pablo Escobar is much more a hero to us than it is to them. They don't think he's that fucking cool, unless, you know, some of the poorer neighborhoods in the hills of Medellin that he really did provide for at a cost. You know what I mean? There's an exchange. Like, yeah, I'll give you the shit, but you need to tell me everything that's going on, and we're just gonna kill anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did a lot. He did a lot for very few people, and really wreaked havoc over the rest of the country, and they're not that fucking proud of him at all.
Okay.
So all the narco stuff. But that being said, those are really pretty good programs. They're like on Netflix, Narcos. And,
oh yeah, I've watched them, man. But anything that's a biopic, you got to take with a grain of salt, no matter what.
Yeah, it wasn't all whatever it portrayed as, right?
How was it like? How was the wealth situation of the country itself? Is it a pretty like affluent country, or was it like?
The poverty wasn't striking. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically what I want to know if it was like.
I thought it was better off than it seemed.
The disparagement between
American,
the money and not.
I think the poorest countries I kind of saw along the journey were El Salvador and Central America and Bolivia and South America.
Okay. And we haven't got to Bolivia yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. Because we just hit South America.
Just hit it. First country here. Look at that fucking chicken feet in Pereira. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I just want to point out one little spot here in Bucaramanga that I kind of blew past, just because it was a great place to. I was so blessed, man. I mean, I look back at these pictures and like, wow, that looks nice. Oh, I was there. Oh, I took that. Really fortunate. I mean,
yeah,
that's Colombia, man. It had some proper hilly hills. I thought there was a shot of where I stayed. Oh, it was Aratoca. So this is kind of at the top of that, and this is one of my favorite spots, my camping spots. On top of that. Yeah, that's a pretty good spot.
So, did anyone give you shit for just pulling over and camping?
No, there's most of the places that I camped at were organized places.
Oh, really?
Like they were.
Okay.
Yeah, overlanders had been. There's an app. Anyone who's considering.
Oh, sure. Duh. Of course there would be.
It's called iOverlander. iOverlander. Yeah, iOverlander. Okay. It's just populated. It's an open source thing that's populated by former travelers, current, and it's updated. Last time someone was there, you can pull up maps about wherever you are, and it'll show you the police stations, the gas stations, the water, wild camping, established camping.
It's like old hobo signals.
Yeah.
Like old hobo signs like, man with dog here, beg, you'll get money.
Okay, request it.
Yep.
He smells good. He smells surprisingly, that's honest surprise.
Look to your right, my friend. In that box.
Is that deodorant?
Yep.
No, but... Okay, yeah. It probably is deodorant. Yep. As you stray from the pits, it doesn't get
better. much like a city in South America, you want to stay in this area. You stray too far, there's danger zones.
Yeah, this is like
here and there.
This is like traveling at night.
Yeah, it's like this is fine. Don't go here in the nighttime.
So I would just say Colombia. The highlight of Colombia is just Colombia. It's just a fucking beautiful. I mean, all these places. Like I said, there was only one time I should have probably talked about in Mexico where I let my blood sugar get low. I was in Puerto Escondido, Mexico. But like I said, that's on me.
Sure.
That's me putting myself in a position. And granted, so I wanted to go into town and I needed to get some money. And this colectivo stopped, and it was like this perfect storm of fucking derpidity.
And
I was like, so this colectivo stopped, and I said, hey, do you have change for 500 pesos? Strike one. And the guy's like, no. And then he stopped, and he's like, hey, yeah, kind of backed up to me. Yeah, we'll get you change for 500 pesos. Sitting back. And then two people jump out of the front.
What is that, like $5 American?
No, 500 pesos is $25.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was way less than that.
Okay. It's about 19, 20 pesos to the dollar now. I seem to remember it being similar to then. But
okay.
So then two people get out of the front and get it in the back with me. Strike two. It's like, hey, and then I asked them, hey, I want to go check out this plaza, but I really need an ATM. What the fuck? What the fuck? Blood sugar, man. Eat something. Have a fucking banana. I didn't have a banana that day. Anyway, that was me. And then
I'm gonna sue the company who did this colectivo, who owns this. I got a wonderful chicken lawyer. He's gonna come in. He's gonna buck your fucking pants off. I'm gonna own this by the end of the day.
So it was, and then I finally got to the town at night, and the market was closing, and I got out of the colectivo. These people are like, hey, let's go over here for that ATM. And I'm like, and I snapped out of it. I had a moment of clarity. And I'm like, oh, what? No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. I'm going to go over here and get something else. It's just like, so that was about as close as it got. And that's not that bad. Yeah. And that's just me being a fucking
I'm such a coward, and like I'm so scared of like people and everything, and that would have been the time where I've been like I would have been considering like, is this the shit my pants defense time, where it's like, you know, like a stink bug, Like just let go, and just let the wettest diarrhea you can. Just let it run in your pants, and be like, "Still want some money?"
You know what? You thought of that so quickly that was not in my that was not in my arsenal.
This is something I've considered at a few points in my life. Like, how am I gonna get out of this? I could always diarrhea my pants.
I want to hear. I want to hear one of those moments where it came up, where it became an option.
Actually, like,
The Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta, yeah, yeah.
You pussy.
I'm telling you, man. I hate not speaking the language.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
It really sucks. I'm scared of places that I don't speak the language, and it's a big fear. Like, I don't have a lot of like deep-seated fears, and one of them is being in a place where I cannot communicate with somebody.
Yeah.
Thankfully, most places at least speak English as a second language, and like that's another privilege, like, you know, that I fucking am grateful for.
Yeah.
But like being deep in a place that doesn't speak any English, like that's a huge fear.
Diarrhea. Well, thanks for the current peso to dollar, 20.77.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Diarrhea at will is a heck of a superpower. It's true. But you probably had one on board at the moment. Did you have diarrhea on board? Or were you
fear.
thinking you could manufacture it?
Fear. You'd be surprised.
But diarrhea, dude, I think that guy's point is taken. Like, it's not willpower that dictates diarrhea.
That's true.
I mean, you need some oogies on board, you know?
That would be a good power, though. You're right.
Oh, I want to show you.
All right.
Highlight Ecuador. What?
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to show you one of the last.
Because we're gonna take a break.
Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, burn one. So one of the last places I stayed before the border of Ecuador was a place called Las Lajas, and I stayed in. This is a monastery, and
pretty nice monastery.
Pretty nice. Pretty fucking bare bones bed. Gotta say, harder than fuck. Maybe I may have slept on wood that night. I don't know. Turns out monks don't give a shit about comfort. Sweet shot of alpacas. Yeah, I punched one before I left. Just kidding. It gave me a real attitude. But this is the little
alpacas are fucking bastards. My dad had a couple of alpacas that were
out in Lockwood.
Yeah, he bought some to chew the grass on his land, and they're fucking little bastards sometimes.
How the fuck do I not have pictures of Santuario de las Lajas? This can't be true. Jesus, there it is. It's in a different folder. Sorry. So this is a sanctuary that straddles a canyon in this place. And it's all fun and games inside. That's nice. That's nice. Then you get to that, and it is fucking impressive. There's the shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a high motherfucking bridge.
Yeah, and it's not that old. That's the only thing. I mean, I've been to places in Europe that are obviously older. But
that looks clean.
Yeah.
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 Wow, that is really cool. All right,
we'll pick up in Ecuador.
We'll pick it up. We're gonna take a short break right here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're not gonna go for the full stream today, but we'll probably come back for another hour or so and finish up the journey. We left off in Ecuador, and we're going to continue on down the west coast of South America, Argentina, Chile, all that shit.
Central Andes.
Yeah,
we're going down the Andes.
All right, take a break. We'll be right back.